Committee call to order, please. Thank you so much. Please call the roll.
Senator Norman. Senator Newman. Senator Lucas. Senator Marsden. Senator Spruill.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. First, I need a motion to strike
Mr. Chairman, I move that
304.
Senate Bill 304 be stricken from the calendar.
Have a second? Second. The proper move a second that 304 be stricken from the calendar. All in favor, use the sign of saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. We have three bills. First one is Senate Bill 160 by Senator Hashmi. She's here? She's not? Okay, let's go down the line. Next one on the line is Senator Lewis. You here?
Yes, sir. I'm here, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Senate Bill 505.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is a co-op bill. If you have a co-ops in your district, as I do, I have a very large and active co-op. This is an important bill for the co-ops. And I will say, Mr. Chairman, I understand that there have been some talk amongst the stakeholders, and while there had been some contention and dissent, there apparently is peace in the valley, as we say too often around here. And I will tell you conceptually, or I'll get the co-op folks to tell you conceptually what that's going to result in when we get to full committee. But anyway, so 505, currently Virginia Code restricts electric co-ops to a net metering cap of 5 to 7%. There is some demand in some co-ops by the membership of some co-ops to raise their net metering cap or remove the cap. So what this bill does, first thing that it does is it allows the co-op boards to voluntarily expand their net metering caps and expand the use of purchase power agreements, PPAs, and within their service territory. It also allows them to expand the use of solar by local board action, allowing them to be more responsive to their members. The second thing 505 does restores the ability of co-ops and third-party solar companies to negotiate a fair cost for the use of the co-op's grid to sell onto the PJM. There was a SEC decision in October which sort of indicated that those negotiations were not allowed. And so what this does is restore that ability for the co-ops and the third-party solar companies to negotiate the fair cost. If those negotiations aren't fruitful, then it goes back to the SCC as the umpire or the arbiter. So that's what it does, Mr. Chairman. I do have Andrew Vehorn here from the co-ops, who I think is going to speak to the bill and can probably answer a lot more about it than I can.
Now, if you can keep it down to 3 minutes, I certainly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Senator Lewis. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The compromise is entailed will strike lines 88 through 90, which would have given Commission staff the ability to administratively approve certain projects, or the Commission to administratively approve certain projects.
You need a motion to strike that?
Oh, no, sir.
I think, Mr. Chairman, if it's okay with the chairman, what we'll do is represent to you what we've done conceptually and then present a substitute to full committee.
Okay, be fine. Thank you.
And then the second, for the solar interconnection piece on the last phase, it makes it absolutely clear that if we're at the commission, that either side can request a full hearing. There's a clause in here that says the commission doesn't have to do a hearing, but if either side wants one, they have that ability.
Thank you.
And with those two, I believe they're peace in the valley.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of the bill? Anyone in La La Land?
If you are on Zoom and would like to speak in favor of the bill, please raise your hand electronically now.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Kyle Shreve on behalf of the Virginia Agribusiness Council, and we support the bill. Thank you.
so much,
Thank
sir.
the patron.
Yes, ma'am?
Mr. Chairman, we have one individual wishing to speak in support, Aaron
All right.
Such.
Are you there? Aaron? Are you on mute?
Mr. Such, please begin your
Yes.
testimony.
Yes, hello, thank you.
2 minutes,
We
sir.
did, yes, we'll make this brief. We did have concerns, but they were addressed with the amendments. We will fully support this. Thank you.
Thank you,
Solar
sir.
United Neighbors.
Thank you so much. Anybody else in support?
That's correct, support.
Thank you, sir. In the audience, anybody in support? Anybody in opposition? In the audience, anybody in opposition? Come forward, please. Anyone in La La Land in opposition?
If you are on the Zoom and you are in opposition of the bill, please raise your hand electronically now. Mr. Chairman, there are no speakers.
No speaker? Any comments from the members? Yes, sir.
Chairman, I move that we report the bill in concept based on what will be presented as a substitute at the full committee hearing.
Do we have a second? Been properly moved and second that the bill be reported to the full committee. Believe. All in favor, we have to vote. All in favor, please vote aye. Voice vote, okay. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you
Mr.
so much,
Chairman.
sir.
Thanks, Subcommittee.
Senator Barbola? Don't you leave, Hashmi, don't leave. All right, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would draw your attention to Senate Bill 625. And before the committee, before I make a full presentation, I also would like to ask the committee to entertain a small word amendment on line 99. After income solar, could we please add financial incentives before pilot program? So it's clear the pilot program is really about testing financial incentives.
Do we have a motion to amend, to add that word? The proper move and second?
Second.
Thank you.
Are you okay with that? Okay, just wanted to make sure
Yes, ma'am,
General
we got
Counsel
it.
got it.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, this is a very simple bill. What this does is it adds an additional array of tools in the toolbox for financial incentives to assist low-income households in accessing solar opportunities. Primarily, it's adding grants, and then the director will be actually overseeing the program as opposed to the board. And that's really all this bill does. There's nothing else that's really changed. Again, the household income would be at 80% of the state median income. We think it's a great way to expand opportunities, especially for our low-income households. And as you know, the more solar a household can implement, the lower the monthly utility bills, hopefully. So it's a win-win. And happy to take any questions. I don't know of any opposition. And I do have one speaker here.
All right, thank you so much. Those who in support, come and speak, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Sam Brumberg. I'm here tonight not as a representative of the electric cooperatives, but as the chair of the Policy and Regulatory Committee of the Clean Energy Advisory Board, the board that oversees this program. This bill does two important things for us. Number one, it solves a government procurement law problem that has come up by removing the program from the board and placing it in the Department of Energy as opposed to with the board. That's going to really help us comply with the government procurement laws much better. The other important thing that it does is it liberalizes the energy efficiency standard that needs to be met. That was a hard-coded 12% in the code. We're removing that and proposing that it just be some other energy efficiency measures in there instead. This bill has been reviewed by the Department of Energy, and we appreciate your support.
Thanks so much, sir. Come up, sir, please.
Mr. Chair, committee, I am Robert Kell with Appalachian Voices, and we just would like to recognize our support.
Okay, thank you. And there was, and the others want to speak in support?
Mr. Chairman.
And the one in Flowers. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know who the question goes to. It may go to the patron, but
Yes, sir.
you have to remind me, where's the money coming from?
I think it's appropriation, but I will let.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Senator, Mr. Chairman. There are numerous sources of funding for this particular program. Right now, there's a pilot phase of the program that's going on that's been funded by a federal Department of Energy grant that is still being used for that purpose. The program on a going forward basis would still be subject to appropriation. That's not addressed in here.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Let me boil it down. Is this coming from other ratepayers?
No, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Anyone in support in the Zoom?
One second. If you are in the Zoom room and would like to speak in support of this bill, please raise your hand electronically now. Mr. Chairman, we have no speakers in
All
support.
right. Those present and speak opposition to the bill, will you please come forward? Anyone in Zoom in opposition to the bill?
If you are in the Zoom room and would like to speak in opposition of the bill, please raise your hand electronically now. Mr. Chairman, there are no speakers.
Move the bill be reported.
Second.
The proper move and second bill be reported. All in favor, use the sign saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Senator Houseman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. This is SB 160, and this bill is seeking to allow greater options or more options for our energy efficiency programs. It opens up the option for utilities and efficiency installers to deliver more savings, and especially savings designed for our low-income households. Many of our low-income communities are still heating their appliances and their homes with costly and inefficient systems. And this offers an opportunity for us to help low-income communities to swap out those inefficient systems for newer and better technology that will hopefully also then lower heating cost and all of the energy bills that they accrue. So this is offering an option. It is not changing or requiring anybody to convert from one technology to the other, but it just removes what I think is an outdated restriction and provides additional menu option for energy efficiency providers to lower the cost of living by switching to electric systems if, in fact, they cost less to the consumer than fuel oil, propane, or methane gas fuel technologies. So this is an option rather than a compulsory kind of a change, and it is increasing the competition for our technologies in energy services. And we have a few folks here to speak to the bill, and I know a few folks against the bill, too.
Okay. Those who are in support of the bill, line up, please. We have a total of 5 minutes. So remember, you have somebody behind you, so don't take the whole 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, Chairman, committee members, I'm Walton Shepard with the NRDC, and we're for this bill, and I'll briefly explain why, although I can't do much better than the patron did. Just to put this into perspective, some folks in Virginia have paid as much as $500 a month recently on heating bills in the case of fuel oil. And this bill could offer the opportunity to potentially lower that high cost of living under Dominion and APCO energy efficiency programs under regular ongoing SCC oversight. So that family that paid $500 a month last winter to heat with oil in an old boiler furnace, and by the way, whose heating bill will likely increase to $700 a month this winter due to rising fuel costs, that family under this bill would simply have the potential opportunity to cut that cost of living in half with cheaper, cleaner electric heat provided by Dominion or APCO under their efficiency programs at the SEC.
Thank you so much. Next speakers, please.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very brief. Connor Kish on behalf of the Sierra Club, and we support the bill for all the reasons that Mr. Shepard stated.
Do we have anyone in the Zoom to speak from the bill, please?
If you are in the Zoom room and would like to speak in support of the bill, please raise your hand electronically now. Mr. Chairman, there is no one wishing to speak in support.
All right. Anyone present speaking in opposition of the bill, will you please come forward? We have 3 speakers in line. You have a total of 5 minutes. Please respect for those behind you, please.
Sure. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Mike O'Connor with Virginia Petroleum.
Excuse me, hold on a minute. My favorite senator remind me we're doing 3 minutes. Bless your heart. You have a minute apiece. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll start again. Mike O'Connor with Virginia Petroleum Marketers and the Propane Association. Would just point out, with my friend's comment just recently, I'd point out that these supplies today are sold by Virginia small businesses who are not subsidized, who are running propane, running petroleum trucks throughout the year. The people in Houston saw what the impact of electrification was last year in February. Secondly, I'd mention that heat pump conversions, the turnaround time to recoup a heat pump conversion, the average 1,200 square foot, is somewhere between 7 and 10 years. I'm not sure who's going to be subsidizing that, as well as the impact on Virginia small business. The last comment I'd make is this is a twin of last year, House Bill 2330 was adopted by the other body, and this similar language, and it was taken out by the Senate. So we would urge you to oppose the bill.
Question for
Yes, sir.
Mike. Mr. Shepherd, the NRDBC, stated that people would save half on their electric bills. That would indicate a faster recovery than 7 to 10 years.
Right.
Are we working from the same set of data here?
I would say no, and the real reason for that is if you look in the bill on line 80, it talks about so long as the total site energy required was less than what was done, but there's no definition of total site energy. So how are we going to determine that in this bill?
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
so
sir.
what I'm hearing here is there's no evidence that either one of you is correct. We just don't know.
Yes, I would say that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, please.
Mr. Chairman, members of the subcommittee, David Clark, representing the Virginia Oil and Gas Association and Columbia Gas of Virginia. Energy efficiency programs are important to the natural gas utilities. Natural gas utilities seek approval for energy efficiency programs. What we don't support is a program that would result in fuel switching. The electric utilities today have the ability to have energy efficiency programs where they could encourage their customers to switch from an older, less efficient electric heat pump to a more efficient one. And that's the way that the energy efficiency programs have been intended to work. I will just also suggest to you that the effect of this would actually be detrimental to the environment in Virginia.
So are you here in support of this bill, sir?
No, I'm opposed to the bill.
Well, I want those who will support first. I thought I said support. We finished with that? I'm sorry, go ahead on, sir, please.
Because Virginia is a net importer of electricity, you have to look at the total mix of where the electricity is generated and the fuel source. If you look at that PJM territory, 20 to 30% of that it comes from coal. So that's going to be a less clean option if you force the Dominion and APCO to bring in more electricity to meet this additional demand.
Thank you, sir. Next, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Morgan Whalen with Virginia Natural Gas. We're also opposed to this bill. Just want to add that the conversion of customers from natural gas to electric actually raises their energy burden. Homes that are heated, cook, dry clothes with natural gas are known to have lower energy bills. So the results of this bill that you're actually increasing costs on residents in Virginia, and natural gas remains an efficient and reliable fuel source. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, please.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask that. So you can go from an inefficient heat pump to a more efficient. Can you move from a natural gas or a propane system to a much more efficient propane? In other words, can you stay inside the same fuel source and get much more efficient also? Is that what you're saying?
So currently under energy efficiency, just as mentioned, natural gas has energy efficiency, but it's the same source. So a customer can get a more efficient natural gas furnace and potentially be eligible for energy efficiency programs if they meet the requirements under SEC. Today, there's not a program that allows to go from propane to natural gas or natural gas to electric or propane to electric. This bill would create the opportunity for natural gas or propane or oil for electric ratepayers to subsidize their home renovation or home improvements to change from natural gas, propane, or oil to electric.
Thanks, Senator Marston.
Thank you. Question for you. Efficiency, is efficiency merely price?
No, efficiency is lower energy use.
Lower energy use, and you're saying that gas uses less energy than electricity.
We're saying the cost is less for an individual who heats their home. And then if you look generally on energy efficiency, we're talking about energy efficiency and emissions.
If that's true, then not many people will take advantage of this if they're making that switch. Is that correct?
One of the reasons we're pointing out, I think, a flaw in the program and why we're a flaw in the proposal and why we're opposed to the bill. But we're generally opposed to the switch from natural gas.
Mr. Chairman, if I might,
Yes, sir.
is that as we convert to, Dominion is in the hunt for something like 150,000 acres of solar land. They're building offshore wind and what have you. And the theory is, or the proposal has been that, as we switch to that kind of electricity, prices will come down. And, we are sort of at the start of that process at this point in time. So shouldn't this just be, customers making up their own decision, let the markets decide how people go? It's their individual decision, just give them the opportunity to make greater decisions?
Mr. Chair, Senator Marsden, we agree with customer choice. That's why we are opposed to this bill, because we believe this bill incentivizes electricity over other sources, and we believe that whether an individual wants natural gas or electric, that shouldn't be subsidized by ratepayers from another utility.
Thank you so much. The last speaker, please. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Scott McCreary, Washington Gas. With great respect to the patron, and in the interest of time, I'll just associate myself with the concerns that we think are very well grounded, and we're deeply concerned about the energy cost burden. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. In discussion, members?
I don't know who to ask the question to, maybe Senator Hashmi, but so who ultimately is going to be paying for these programs? Is this going to be the middle-class person that gets APCO power today? Are they the ones that are going to be paying for the conversion, or who pays for it?
I think I'll let my expert here answer this.
There's no free lunch in the electricity system. Everyone pays for everything. Same in the gas system, right? So under SEC oversight, as long as it's cost effective to make that conversion, all ratepayers pay in under the assumption that all ratepayers benefit. And if that doesn't pencil out, then it doesn't get approved at the SEC. So this is just the option.
Mr. Chairman, just
Yes,
to be clear. So if you're a ratepayer at AEP, downtown, Good, Virginia, and you're paying your rates, are they now going to take people who are in a different fuel system and charge the electric rate people more to convert them from one type of fuel to another?
It would only be permitted by the SEC if it's found to be cost effective for all ratepayers. In other words, you're bringing more revenue into the system through greater electric sales. That's good for everyone. So as long as it passes the cost effectiveness test at the SEC under their regular oversight, what you describe is correct, but the SEC has made the determination it's in the best interest.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'll ask the patron. With APCO, I spoke to them today, and I think there's a concern that more electric responsibility for them makes it harder for them to meet the goals of the Clean Economy Act. However, my understanding is APCO's always, their amount of electric customers has been declining, and so this would provide them with more customers. So there's kind of some confusion there between those two things. Is anybody here can clarify that for me?
Do we have any representatives?
Mr. Chairman, Ron Jefferson with Appalachian Power Company. Can you help me with the question again, Senator? I'm sorry.
I know your concern was if you're required to provide more electric service because of this transition, that interferes with your ability to meet the goals of the Clean Economy Act because you have to use more electricity. But aren't you also looking for additional customers, because that has been a problem at APCO, is that you don't have a base load that you used to have, and you've lost customers. And I mean, those two things are just kind of confusing. So I was hoping you could clarify that.
I follow you. Mr. Chairman. Senator, yes, you're correct. I mean, we've experienced some declining load for a number of years, and where, yes, this type of policy would increase load, the problem that we would have with the bill is that you're doing it under an energy efficiency program, which, yes, Senator Newman, Mr. Chairman, that any energy efficiency programs that go through the commission are paid for by the ratepayer. So we do have concerns with that portion of it. The other concern that we have is that, as you stated, the Virginia Clean Economy Act, we are set with targets to make reductions, mandatory targets to make reductions in energy usage. What this right here would do, if you make this an energy efficiency program, then it actually is designed to increase energy usage, which is counter to that. So that's why we had a concern.
Electric energy use.
Exactly. That's why we had a problem.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions by the committee? And not the chair, ruled by, I'm sorry, Senator Thompson, you want to close out, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the questions. We certainly appreciate the concerns that our other energy providers have raised. But again, this particular bill is not mandating any conversions. It is simply opening up the option for electrification for our consumers. So if there is a desire to change out aging systems, primarily propane or oil, and convert them to electric, this gives one more option to our consumers, principally our low-income communities.
Thank you. Senator Lucas?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the bill be reported.
I'll second it.
Mr. Chairman, just
Yes, sir.
discussion. Senator Hashmi, I think it's a good idea to convert if it's going to be more efficient. I'd just love for it to go through and let's set up and let's make an appropriation to that, right? I just hate to have those consumers today that are on electricity to once again bear more burden to convert more people. So, I mean, if it was setting up a program whereby we were going to make an appropriation to help people convert, you know, I'm kind of all in, but that's kind of my struggle.
Yeah, there's a motion and second. All in favor, use the sign saying aye. 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 No? No. Did I hear no?
Yes.
3-1? Yes, sir. Senator Hosby, I recommend on this one that you come before the full committee on this one, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Reported 3-1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All minds clear? If not, thank you all so much.